everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie and I am back today with this week's WIP and Chat. So first off, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and wanted to let you know, if you are new, that WIP stands for Work in Progress. In this case, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting. Most WIP and Chats I'm working on a diamond painting. And chat means that we're just going to hang out for the next hour or so, and I'll be talking with you just about what's been going on in terms of diamond painting stuff, the YouTube side of things, and life updates in general. So feel free to grab a cup of coffee, a project to work on if you would like, or if you want to use this as company and background noise while you're getting stuff done. I know that's how I like to spend my time with WIP and Chats often. So either way, I'm just looking forward to spending a little time with you today. So to give you a rundown of what I'm working on and with today, I'm going to be working on the kit Herald of Spring, which I kitted up with you guys in last week's WIP and Chat. And this kit I just started putting drills down on yesterday, and it's been a very, very busy week. So I haven't diamond painted a lot, so that's why we're still on this first section, but I'm looking forward to seeing if I can get a little bit more progress done on it. This is part of Diamond Dot's Masterclass collection and is still available for sale. I will link to it below, but full disclosure, you are likely going to get sticker shock when you see it if you heard me say Masterclass and don't know what that means. We'll talk about it a little bit more later, but just know that I'm not co-signing the price point of this necessarily. I'm trying to do like a jury's still out on how we feel about the, oh, sorry, I just smacked the camera really hard, on how we feel about the price point. But yeah, I just will still link it and you can decide what you want to do at the moment. And then accessories wise, I have this pen, which is from Latheworks that I'll be using today. And this tray, I wanted a nice big tray to multi-place with. This is from Munimade. I'm going to be using Wee Wax in my single placer. And then this is Dot Dot Putty from Butterfly Effectwares. And this is one of the, well, this is one of the iterations that comes in a tin. It's like a bigger amount of putty compared to just the like flat squares that they send out. So I just have this one in this bigger tin and I thought, oh, let's go ahead and dip into this one today. So let me go ahead and get my pen loaded up and ready to go. I need to get some fresh putty in this multi-placer and we'll kind of roll with it there. So I kind of started to clean this out earlier, but whatever putty I had in here previously was really soft and was gonna need another pass to get it out. So I'm just gonna try to get this all out here. I like the metal multi-placers from Diamond Art Club. At this point, I basically exclusively use their 12 placers. There are a lot of companies that do metal multi-placers on the market. I haven't tried any of like the AliExpress versions that I think are supposed to be similar in style to these DAC ones because, well, honestly, I bought a handful of these DAC ones and they've held up fine. One of them bent, kind of. But otherwise, they've held up fine, and so I don't feel like I need to buy any others to try out. But I think that there are some kind of AliExpress sort of knockoffs of these at this point. But okay, let me go ahead and grab. See, they give you like a ton of putty in these tins. So I'm just gonna probably the flat end of my tweezers is the way to go. It smells so good. It smells like maple syrup. I feel like you could also just take this whole thing out and pull some off, but I'm gonna see if this works okay. Butterfly Effectwares putty, it's not super soft. It's not the driest I've seen, but it's pretty solid, like compared to a lot of what's out there. It's not too sticky and it's not too soft. It tends to perform pretty well for me in various climate, humidity, and temperature. So I did recently do a video where I talked about how to use wax and putty when it comes to diamond painting and trying to find the right one for you. I did that video earlier this month in March. So if you are curious, you can go back and take a look. Oh, Skip rather is singing the song of his people. If you have a cat, you will understand when I say that he has the He has the poop zoomies. Sorry if that's a little TMI. But he totally gets those. He like runs upstairs and then runs around and meows for a minute there. Okay, so I'm just getting this situated in here. I'll try to remember to link that putty and wax video if you're curious to go and take a look. I was pretty happy with how that came together. I was nervous because I thought there's so many options out there. I'm afraid I'm gonna get it wrong, and I know everyone has different approaches, and I know that it can't be perfectly comprehensive. But after I got over my little mental block over that, it was fun to pull that together, and I was pretty happy with it. So this is some older WIP wax. That is actually a little bit drier than that's behaving a little differently than I'm used to from WIP wax. I've had this WIP wax for a long time, and she's updated the formula since then. That's interesting. This is watermelon lemonade. Still smells really good. Big old tin of these. These just last a really long time. So, all right, I'm going to open up this section. Yes, it is. It's had some drills placed. I decided to work with giant sections in this particular kit since it's overall a really large project already. I thought, let's do really big sections and see if that feels like it helps it move along a little bit. And if I find myself starting to dislike that, I can always go back in and on the next, column, do smaller sections instead. So we'll see, but this is all one color. That's only one color has been placed so far, and it was all that kind of light blue color. I wish that I had a picture of this to show you, but Diamond Dots, even with their masterclass kits, they don't include like a sticker sheet at all or any separate printing of the original artwork. So the piece itself, I'll link to the unboxing if you want to take a look, and you'll be able to see what the artwork looks like there. But it's of a Pegasus. It's a very, very large panel piece. Oh, that's right. I'm going to have some residue. There's always a little bit of residue initially with WIP wax, but then it gets better. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. It's a very large panel piece. It's landscape style. So if I compare it to a Mandy Manzano Princess panel, it's like take a Mandy Manzano Princess panel and lay it on its side. It's even longer than that. It's 136 centimeters or 53.5 inches long. And then it's 67 centimeters tall. This is a big kit, and I think it's going to take me a while to get through, especially because I am planning to have multiple WIPs going very, very, very soon. For a couple of different reasons. So there is a kit that's coming out from DAC soon that I just got in yesterday that I want to start right away, and I kitted it up today, but obviously couldn't start that with you guys tonight. But you'll see it soon-ish. I don't remember the exact date actually, but you'll see it, and I'll have a progress update for you whenever I do that sneak peek video. I'm obsessed with this artwork and so excited. So that I'll be working on. Honestly, I'll probably, once I finish this section of this piece, I will likely put this up and really focus on that other kit to see how far I can get on it. Maybe. And then I also am kicking around what kit I might want to work on for my 250th diamond painting finish. So this kind of snuck up on me. I've been diamond painting since, oh my gosh. I completely forgot about this too, you guys. It's been a really crazy week. April 1st is my diamond painting anniversary. April 1st of 2020 was the day that I very first put drills down on a diamond painting ever. I got a diamond painting from Amazon during pandemic times, and the rest is history. I feel like as soon as I put drills down on that kit, I was like, this is it. This craft is for me. It's exactly what I want. And yeah, April 1st, never an April Fool's joke, deadly serious. 6 years of diamond painting, absolutely nuts, absolutely nutty. What a strange span of time this has covered. That snuck up on me too. So yeah, that's special timing of things, right? So my 6th diamond painting anniversary is coinciding with roughly my 250th diamond painting. Now, when I've had these milestones in the past, I typically celebrate when I get to multiples of 50. I think I started this when I hit my 100th diamond painting. I don't know that my 50th was anything super special, but then I wanted to make 100 really special. Then I decided to make 150 really special, and then 250, 200 and 250. I also wanted to, make special too. So this snuck up on me. I've just kind of been working on projects, and then when I was catching up my logbook the other day, I had this moment of, yeah, 250 is here. I just finished my 249th. So what I can do though is just have multiple WIPs going but not finish any of the others except the one I want to be my 250th finish. And it's the spirit of the thing, right? So I'm trying to decide what kit I want to be my 250th. Now, I've been observing a lot of these milestones with princess panels, or at least one of them. I think, was it 100 I did? The Daughter of the Sea King, the Little Mermaid princess panel from DAC. But I just haven't put enough thought in it to decide what I might want to do for 250. So I don't know if a princess panel seems right. The kit that is here from DAC that I'm working on early, could actually. There's some ways that could work, but I don't know. I like to tap into my rainy day stash and pull out something that's really, that I've been sitting on and has sort of that anticipation and special meaning to it and stuff. So I don't know, you guys. What do you think? I'm so indecisive, and I feel like with how nutty the past couple weeks have been, I'm like, I don't have any brain power to figure this out, but I need to diamond paint for, to help with my stress levels. So, but that's just pushing me closer to, my 250th finish. So I'm creating some of my own problems, I know, but 6 years of diamond painting. That's really nutty. I might have to reflect on this and maybe come up with a series of tag questions or something related to diamond painting that would work to sort of look back on, and maybe I could do that in my next WIP and Chat, because I definitely didn't come prepared today. So I guess I'll also open it up to you guys if there are specific questions that you might have about diamond painting or sort of my thoughts after 6 years in the craft. Let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Do a little AMA, Ask Me Anything kind of video. So yeah, that's coming up. And yeah, so sorry, now I'm just completely distracted and sidetracked. So this kit and my thoughts on it so far. In the process of working on it, I'm not, suddenly feeling like I'm having any different kind of experience than any other Diamond Dots kit I've worked on. Once you take it out of the packaging and everything, which is very pretty, in some ways not terribly practical, quite honestly, but it's pretty. This is just like any other Diamond Dots kit you can get from the store. The canvas is the same, the drills are the same, the rendering approach seems to be the same, and yeah, so I don't know. I don't have a lot to really say about it, given that I'm only just a little bit into this first section. The drills are mostly okay. I have been running into some trash, and I'm a little bit nervous to get rid of any drills, because one of the other recent Diamond Dots kits that I worked on, to be fair, it was a couple of years ago, I ran out of a couple of drill colors, and I am not totally familiar actually with the process of getting replacements from Diamond Dots. I know that they believe they have a warranty. Did that just come off of the... I'm struggling here. I don't know if it's the putty or what, or these drills. I don't know. They're a little bit inconsistent in size and shape, just a little bit. And so some of them fit tight and some of them almost want to, pop. And these are round drills. This is not something you usually run into. Anyway, I'm afraid to get rid of any trash drills, because what if I run out of a drill color and I don't know how long it would take to potentially get replacements. I just don't know what that process looks like. So I'm trying to pick around any bad drills and just pull out the good ones and kind of leave the bad ones just in the mix, and then if I need them, I can try to work them in later, but hopefully I really hope that's not something I have to do. But yeah, I don't know. TBD. But this is you guys are gonna see plenty of this project, I think, because it's big. It's gonna take me a while, and it certainly does not have like a ton of color blocking or anything like that. So I guess I'm just gonna hope that it's done by summer, like maybe by the end of May. That'd be great. But we'll have to wait and see. This has just been such a funny year for me in terms of kits that I've been gravitating towards working on. And I feel like I had that reinforced to me just based on my experiences with the last 2 kits that I've worked on and completed. So I just posted a post review of my mini set that I just finished. And if you happen to catch that video, which it's not actually performing particularly well, and I don't know if I'm surprised by that or not. Sometimes I can guess if a video is going to sound interesting to people and if they're going to watch it. And sometimes I can pretty well predict if a video is just not going to be a really popular one. And this one, I don't know. I kind of thought that because it's a newer company that people would be into it, and because it's a completed project that people might be into it. But post reviews are like reviews of completed diamond paintings. Videos dedicated to that are such not a gamble. It's like a real toss-up. I really don't know how they're going to do, and even what sort of the deciding factor is. If it's the artwork itself, if it's something about like what I'm doing with the thumbnail or the title, or the company, if that's what people are interested. I don't know. And I'm not asking you guys to have a magic answer to this because I don't think it's really that simple, but I just been kind of noodling on it. But anyway, my point is really that I did this review video and I mentioned there that I just didn't enjoy working on that mini set as much as I had expected to. I had thought that coming out of a couple of larger projects that working on a smaller kit was going to be just what the doctor ordered. And I was very meh on it. Oh, I forgot to set the focus. Sorry that it's been going in and out of focus this whole time. Hopefully that helps. But this looks like it's all practically the same color blue. There's a slight variation there. This is nearly the same color blue. That bodes well. If I run out of a color, I can, like if there's one that's close enough, like these two, I can just swap, steal from the other. Anyway, yeah, I didn't enjoy working on that mini set. I was a little like just wanting to push through it so I could be done. And I don't love when that's my experience with the kit. And I just don't think it was the fault of the kit. In terms of, I don't think it was the company, like the quality or something. I think I just wasn't in the mood to work on a mini set after all. And prior to that, I had been working on a tester kit for a small shop. And the artwork was not 100% like something I would have picked out for myself, which is fine. It's what they had, and it was fun to work on something that was outside of my usual. But I think one of the reasons I was ready to kind of get through it was because it was a little bit smaller canvas. And so, yeah, it's interesting that that's been what I've really wanted this year. What I keep looking back at is just for a couple of years there, I had this really, really big cross-stitch conversion project going, and it was very large scale and scope, and I think that just really, for a while, burned me out on big kits. And since that's been over for a year and a half now, I think I just sort of got my mojo back for big projects, and it's just come back full force this year. And so I'm embracing it, and that's why I thought, well, this is the year to work on Herald of Spring then, because this is a big kit, and other kind of larger projects that otherwise I'd be really, like if this were me last year, I would have been so nervous about pulling this out and would absolutely have been flirting with burnout like the whole time. So I'm still nervous about potentially burning out on this kit, but that's why I'm kind of feeling like, why don't I just have a bunch of whips going? Why don't I just kit up a bunch of stuff? Really the reason that I haven't jumped headfirst into that is laziness. I've just been too lazy. It's like I could kit up a new project, or this one's already kitted up and it's just sitting there. It's just ready to go. I could work on a diamond painting now and not have to prep another kit. I actually love the process of kitting up. Honestly, I think it's a lot of fun. And it's just satisfying for organizational brain. But like right in the moment when it's like, I just want to diamond paint, then I'm going to reach for the thing that's ready to go. Yeah, I don't know. What have you guys noticed? We're about 3 months into 2026, and I'm curious if you've noticed any trends or tendencies in yourself for this year, whether it's diamond painting related or otherwise. Like, what's kind of come to the surface for you as far as this is what I'm drawn to this year that I wasn't expecting or that you were expecting, or this theme that you're noticing emerging that you're like, I'm always gravitating towards this genre or this kind of thing or this craft or anything like that. I'm so curious to hear if any of you have been surprised, hopefully in a good way, like I have this year. And yeah, it's interesting because I wonder if I would have known that this was coming. It's like, would I have done something different with my bingo card? I'm about to sit down in the next couple of days and record my month in review for March, and I'll be able to check a couple of boxes off of my bingo card. There's one or two of my kits I feel like I have to decide what box they're gonna take up, because I've decided to have each kit can only check off one box, not multiple. So yeah, I'll have to decide like, okay, what do I want some of these kits to work for? Some of them are more obvious than others. Like the mini set, I don't know if I'm going to do another mini set this year since I felt so mad about this one. So I'll definitely use that for the mini set square. And we'll save the new to me shop for a different kit. But yeah, let me shake this up a little bit. Next up, and we'll keep rolling along. I need a drink of water. I've been dealing with a lot of migraines lately, and so I'm trying to hydrate. I'm trying to do the things that I can control. I've been a lot better this past week about avoiding, the past week or two really, about avoiding my triggers, and like that has helped kind of scale my migraines back a little bit, knock on wood. Oh my God. Excuse me. But it takes a little while to kind of break that cycle after being in it for a bit. So yeah, try to get back on it with that. And hydrating is, yeah, definitely part of that. So other things that I've been musing on, well, I have Summer with the Masters coming up. And by coming up, I mean I would like to do an official announcement video for it sometime this month. As in April, as in the upcoming month. All over the place again. I would like to get a Summer with the Masters announcement video up soon. If you are hearing me say Summer with the Masters and going, what is that? That sounds weird, or what in the world? It is a diamond painting event that I think this will be its 6th year, if I'm counting right. And it centers around classic artwork is probably the easier way to describe it. We kind of put it under the umbrella of Old Masters. That's just sort of, I don't remember exactly how we landed on that name way back when we created the event. When I say we, I mean Jessica from Tiny Worlds of Wonder, who I love and adore. She's been off YouTube for a bit now. I think she's still doing really well, but I miss seeing her amazing YouTube videos so much. She's just a treasure. But we started this event together back in 2021, and at the time there just wasn't a lot of diamond painting. There weren't a lot of diamond painting kits available that featured classic artwork, and we felt like it was a really fun, unexplored genre. There are lots of possibilities because it's all public domains. There's not licensing that goes into it, so people can get customs if they want to, get, super budget-friendly options, and still feel like they're above board in terms of if they're worried about working on ethical artwork that hasn't been stolen. And so I would love to do that event again this year, and I would like to go ahead and get an announcement video up so that people can hear that, yes, it is officially happening, and can plan accordingly if you want to join in. And I am curious to hear from you guys, especially if you've participated in past years, but if not, that's also totally fine. Is there anything in particular you would like to see from the event this year? Last year I kept it very low key, and I'm leaning pretty strongly towards doing the same again this year, with it being summer and I have my kids home from school on summer break and whatnot. I like the idea of keeping it pretty chill again, but if you're really dying for, lots of sponsors and stuff like that, I'm still open to hearing your thoughts, but just letting you know up front that this is kind of what I'm thinking. But yes, if you have feedback you would like to share, I'm very much open to it. And then I also have been musing a little bit over my sneak peek that I had last week, because I saw one or two comments from people where they were like, wait, isn't the artist, the piece that I had, there were some people that thought that the artist's work was AI. And while I absolutely don't judge what anyone is doing, you make whatever decisions that you would like to make about how you want to spend your money and what your priorities are and what you're looking for. This is just purely for myself and what I've tried to set out to be consistent about showing on my channel. I didn't realize that artist's work was AI. And I am still unsure about exactly what that artist's process looks like. And I don't know. It's really hard when I feel like it's hard to tell. Maybe for some people they feel like, no, it's really obvious, and it's totally fair. I tend to go off of what the artist has said, like in their bio, or if I'm noticing what things are really that I've picked out to be red flags. And I also, the shop that this artist is with and the sneak peek was from, they put disclaimers on the artist's listing that do use AI. And any of the kits they've released from this artist so far haven't had that disclaimer. And it doesn't say anything about that technology in the artist's bio. So that doesn't mean that the artist doesn't use AI. I know it can be kind of a complicated and often really tense and nuanced and difficult subject, which is why I don't try to talk about it a ton here, because I still feel like it's a field I'm trying to navigate and learn my way around. And just the place that I've landed is that I try not to show AI artwork here to the best of my knowledge. And yeah, so I don't totally know what to think about that one, but if I threw any of you off, if that's some, I don't know, a value or something that you share or something you're used to or not used to seeing here, just know that I didn't think that this artist used AI, and I just thought the artwork was really pretty, you guys. And I don't know, it's like sometimes I might get to, whether it's this company or any other companies, sometimes I might get to have a say in what is sent to me for PR. Sometimes I don't. And that's all. I'm just grateful that I get to do what I do. And I try as best I can to keep that consistent with what I want to show on my channel and what my current sort of, I don't want to say values, because I'm not trying to imply that others that have different thoughts about it have different values necessarily. I feel like I'm being so clumsy about how I'm describing this. All I'm trying to say is that I looked after the fact more closely and went, okay, I can see where the potential flags are here, and I don't know what to think, but I hope that anyone that sort of did a side eye can maybe accept that it was an honest mistake on my part. If there's AI involved in some way, maybe it's some mix of some AI, some not. I don't know. Not that that necessarily makes it. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I wasn't setting out to do anything malicious or deceptive or anything like that. Yeah. that happened with another kit that I showed recently that I was like, when I originally did not think that this was AI, and now I think that it might be. So I just feel like I'm flustered because I feel like I've stepped in it and have like misstepped in terms of like this not being consistent with what my values and what I try to do are. So I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate all that. On top of just truly, I know I've said it a lot and I'll try to maybe elaborate why, but the past couple of weeks have been so busy and I'm a little bit just hanging on. Not by a thread, like not like I'm losing it, but just I feel like I'm just barely keeping up with everything I'm trying to get done and everything I'm trying to stay on pace with and stuff. So I'm dropping the ball and things are slipping through the cracks and I don't love that at all. So anyway, I am going to try to move on because I feel like I'm just clumsily making my way through this subject and we're just going to keep moving. But I wanted to like acknowledge that, I guess. And, you know, you guys are my ride or dies here. So I know that you typically are here to, I don't know, you might watch more of my videos and that might be something you would have noticed and would have cared about. And so I just wanted to address it with you guys, at least to start. So let's talk about other things that have been going on. So I can finally share what the big news was from my parents. My mom went back to Arizona to finish out the rest of the trip with my dad there. We had a wonderful visit with her here in town, got to do a lot. But the big news is that my parents bought a house in Arizona and are going to be moving there after they sell my Ohio house in my childhood home in Ohio in the spring. And so they're likely going to be moving sometime this summer. So they closed on the new house. They have their keys. They have told family and friends now. And I had just thought, well, I don't want to say anything here in the event that I think that some of my mom's friends might sometimes watch my channel. She and some of her friends back in Ohio will sometimes get together and diamond paint. And I know that, like, she said that they've watched some of my videos before. I don't suspect that they watch my WIP and Chats, but I just thought I'm not going to mention any specifics here and potentially put my parents in like a sticky spot at all. Like, I can wait a few weeks and then mention it to you guys. So I'm thrilled. They're going to be driving distance from us now. It's a long drive, but it's actual driving distance. I can get to them in half a day, as opposed to having to hop on a plane, you know? So I'm very excited in my mind, selfishly, because obviously it was all about me. This was best case scenario in my head, them moving to Phoenix year round, because then they'll be driving distance year round. Not that I'm going to be super stoked about going to Phoenix in the summer, but, you know, when the kids on summer break, I could totally see trying to, you know, go and visit and stuff. So I'm really glad for them above anything. I'm just glad that they felt kind of that peace and that feeling of this is clearly what our next step should be. You know, certain doors opened and closed that gave them that confirmation that they were looking for. And that was really what I wanted the most. And I had told my mom and dad before they did this trip, when we were visiting with them over the holidays, I said, I don't know why, but I do just have this really strong sense that this feeling that when you're in Arizona for your snowbirding trip this year, that something or some things are going to happen that are going to make you feel that clarity that you feel like has been lacking. And not just because you're on a time crunch and you're wanting to figure things out. I said, I feel like, you know, things are going to happen that you're going to feel more certain of what you should be doing. And, you know, my parents and I, like, we have spiritual beliefs and everything. And so I was feeling a little bit of that, but also just hoping on a practical note too, that they would feel that reassurance. And yeah, my mom said she especially felt very at peace, and that sort of sense of, well, certain doors have closed and others have opened, that just, it's like, this was the perfect house. We knew as soon as we saw it that this was it, and we've been looking for a few years and haven't seen the perfect house till now. And yeah, so if you guys have any positive thoughts to send their way for listing and selling their old place, just that would all go really smoothly, and then the process of moving, that's all so stressful, and I'm just really hoping for them that the next few months go as easily as possible. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know that we're necessarily going to be throwing the kids in the car to go to Arizona this summer. It kind of depends on how the timing of everything works out, but yeah, I'm glad that we all know, that I know, my brother knows, that my parents know just what's next, because that being in limbo was always kind of hard, honestly. So yay. Anyway, that's the news I was being cagey about. And thank you for those of you that were so sweet and encouraging when I've talked about, the process of my childhood home being sold and stuff, and saying goodbye to it when we were there at the holidays and everything. So yeah, I'm feeling at peace about it all too. So yeah. We got a lot done while my mom was here. Like I said, we actually got a couple of small bookshelves for Micah's room. We're about to go through this little process of doing like musical chairs with our furniture. The first thing that we need to do is we have this really cheap chair from Wayfair in our living room. And can I just say, if you ever think about getting furniture from Wayfair, I have to recommend strongly against it. I've heard good things about their rugs and some of their, decor and stuff. I cannot recommend their furniture at all. This chair we got, now granted, it was 7 years ago. It is not held up well at all. It is so saggy. The springs, you feel every single one of them when you try to sit in this chair. It looks like it's just going to bottom out and fall to pieces. It's in horrible, embarrassingly bad shape. Like, I'm actually embarrassed if we have people over and they go to sit and I'm like, how about you sit on the couch? I'll sit in the chair. And so we're going to be getting rid of that. I honestly, and I hate this, I don't even think it's salvageable via donation. I don't even think a donation center would take it. I don't even think someone would take it as a project. It was a cheap chair, honestly. So we're going to schedule a bulk pickup. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other big items that we need to get rid of. We still have a crib mattress that both of my kids used, that it's we're not having any other kids. And I don't really know that that's something that's worth trying to pass on to somebody else. So probably get rid of that. But are there any other things that we should go ahead and try to include in that bulk pickup? Because the way that ours works is that our trash people will not pick up anything that's not in the trash can. But you get 3 free bulk pickups for your address a year. And they'll pick up multiple items on the same day for your bulk pickup, and it only counts as one. That still only counts as one. If you know that reference, you're my new bestie. So I want to be strategic about it, is really the point. So we need to do that, and then we're going to bring down the Lazy Boy rocking chair, which is held up great. And we got that when I was pregnant with Connor, so that's over 10 years old. And I spent a lot of hours in that chair rocking or nursing my kids, and even after they were done with that phase, a lot of evenings just reading with Micah in that chair. And, Connor, before we, had Micah in that chair too. So it's seen a lot of use, and it's still in wonderful, wonderful shape. So we're going to move that down to the living room. I'm going to be a little sad about taking it out of Micah's room. But his space is, we live in a really small space in general. So his room is small. It's just, he'll get a lot of space by taking that chair out of there. So we're going to move that chair downstairs, and then we'll have room to put up these 2 smaller bookshelves that we got at IKEA. My mom got for Micah as a birthday gift. And then I'll be able to actually, put his books out in a more practical way. He's such a little reader, and so he'll love being able to see everything way more easily. And yeah, so that's kind of a project that I have in mind, but it's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Thankfully, the bookshelves, IKEA packing boxes, they're so flat and so space efficient. It's fine that they're just staying in the boxes for now. They're actually still in the trunk of my car, just to keep it really easy. And once I am able to schedule the bulk pickup, then we can move forward with all that. But yeah, we had like I said, a very, very productive week, and that all led up to Micah's birthday was today, Sunday. He turned 8 today, and we had a really fun day celebrating him. And I don't know where the time goes. When I started diamond painting 6 years ago, he had just turned 2. I was a mom of littles when I started my YouTube channel and when I started diamond painting, and I just don't think that label is really accurate anymore. And even having, obviously, kids with special needs and stuff, it can look a little bit different, but even still, it's no, he's really grown up in a lot of ways, and a lot of really beautiful and special ways. And I'm getting a little bit teary because when it's when it's my kid's birthday, I get very, very, very nostalgic. I was looking back at videos from, when he was born, having him in the hospital, and I watched this video from just a few hours after he was born, and he's sleeping but just making all these adorable, sweet little newborn noises. And yeah, it just makes me tear up because I don't know where the time has gone, and I really try to soak it up and not let it get away from me, but it goes so fast. It flies. So we celebrated him today. He had a wonderful time. Adam's parents came up, which was really special and really nice, because Adam unfortunately had a full day on a film set. We'll do some really fun special celebrations with Adam here this week with Micah, and Micah was fine with it. But Adam's parents came up to celebrate with us this evening and brought Micah's favorite dinner, which is Raising Cane's. The kid would just drink this sauce straight, given the option. And we made cupcakes. Micah actually woke me up this morning to say, "Good morning, Mommy. It's my birthday. I'm 8. Let's make cupcakes." And he'd been, yesterday he knew, he was so excited that we were going to make cupcakes for his birthday today. And all day he was asking about, when can I open presents? And Adam's parents had said he doesn't have to wait for us to open presents. And I said, it's okay. We'll see what we can do. And we made it, but I almost wonder if we should have just let him open presents earlier, because he just kept asking. We did fine though. And he is on such a Mario kick that he got a lot of Mario things for his birthday. And Adam and I had found this adorable little blue truck book that just came out. He loves the little blue truck books, and it just came out with a new one, Little Blue Truck and Racer Red. So that was our gift to him. And then grandparents had both gotten him pieces to this new Little People Mario set. And it just came out a few weeks back. When I saw an ad for it, I thought, Micah, I think, would lose his mind with excitement over this. And you guys, he totally did. The video that I have of him unwrapping it, the way his face lights up is amazing. It's so sweet. And he just played with it nonstop until bedtime. It was the best. He was also very excited about the book that Adam and I got him, and we did read that a few times. And then we're also going to be seeing the Mario movie this week. The timing on that is just perfect. The new Mario movie is coming out this weekend, this upcoming weekend, and we're going to go ahead and try to take Micah to the theater for it. Grandparents got an AMC gift cards that we can all go, and Micah's very excited for that. He knows that the movie is coming out technically on Wednesday, and he's like wanting to know why we're not going on Wednesday, and we're like, because, you know, it's a school day, we'll go on Friday. But he's really looking forward to that too. So it's a very Mario themed birthday this year, and I'm totally fine with it. He's just so sweet. I love doing things that make my kids just light up and make them so happy. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. We'll see how he does. He's been in a movie theater one other time. It was to see K-pop Demon Hunters when they did the sing-along version. Hold on a sec. I need a little pointy uppy. This one, okay. And he did okay. And I'm hoping that since this one is Mario, that he'll also do okay with it, because I'm hoping he's just going to be so excited about it. And I'm hoping that since it's opening weekend and it's a kids movie, that if he gets a little noisy, that people won't be upset or annoyed. Like, I'll try my best to make sure he's not outrageous, but you know, he's a kid and it's a kids movie, so there's a balance in there somewhere, I like to think, of trying to be aware of the people around us, but also them giving grace because it's a kids movie. I'm thinking there are going to be a lot of other kids there that are excited too. So anyway, hoping that all goes well and that it's just a really fun time all around. So yeah, Micah's birthday weekend has me all kinds of in my feelings, honestly, and I wonder if any other fellow parents can relate. My to-do list I'm really making good progress with it, but a lot really was just kind of happening at once here. The main thing is that I need to have taxes finished in the next couple of days because we have a deadline from our tax person. That does have me stressed out because my whole situation is very complicated, and hence the need for a tax person. And I truly have no idea what they're going to come back and say that we owe or don't. I don't know. Last year was rough, and this year I don't know what to expect. Our whole situation is so messy right now, but I will have that done in the next couple of days, and then I will hopefully hear back and we'll just see what the damage is. So that's been the big thing looming over my head. I've also had a whole handful of different medical related things, and I wish that this was all just like a attention seeking thing, because then I could be like, okay, I don't have time for this actually, but it's not. It's like genuinely stuff that we need to do and get taken care of, and it's just trying to take care of a lot of different calls and chasing down referrals and everything. I finally got everything taken care of after multiple back and forth calls with the neurology department down at Chalk, and this bothered me. This was a thing that happened when we saw orthopedic there too, when we got the referral. And I remembered calling them to be like, hi, you know, my kid's pediatrician sent over a referral, wanted to make sure that you had that, and can we schedule this appointment? There was, of course, back and forth when we did this with ortho too, but then when it came down to it, it was, okay, yes, we have all of your referral and your paperwork, and now our team needs to review all of this, and then they'll contact you within the next 3 to 5 business days to schedule an appointment. And it was a similar situation with neurology, where I had called, and yes, we have the referral, but we need his medical records. And I'm thinking, he was just there last month to see orthopedic. Are you telling, why don't we have his medical records? Okay, let me go to his pediatrician and get his medical records sent over. Call to follow up with them. Hi, do you have his medical records now? And we confirmed that insurance authorization has gone through, and they said, yes, we have this, and yes, we have that. Okay, now our team needs to review this, and then they will call you to schedule. And I wanted to think and just say, you had everything. Why did this not trigger the team reviewing it and contacting us? Why did, my calling, you did not get any new information from me except basically, okay, yes, we want to schedule an appointment. Okay, so you have all our stuff, and this is me saying, yes, please look at all of our stuff. I don't totally understand it. I guess if you work in the medical field and have some kind of insight, I would welcome it, but I just was kind of annoyed that it was like, would you not have reviewed this unless I called? And you're basically like, oh yeah, I guess we should do that, like squeaky wheel kind of thing. But then again, maybe I'm about to go ahead and say exactly what that reason is. Maybe they're just that busy, because when they did call back, they said, okay, hi, we're calling to schedule a neurology appointment for Micah. I said, great, yes, let's do it. And what cracked me up is they said something like, do you have any preferences about, scheduling and like time of day, whatever, blah, blah. And I just said, no, like we can be flexible. And they said, okay. And they went, first available is blah, 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 date at the end of August. If you're watching this in the future, it's the end of March. 5 months is the earliest available. And I know this is how it goes with specialists sometimes, but I just thought, if you're scheduling 5 months out, you really think that I am going to get picky about what day of the week it is? I just be like, no, like first available, please. So I took one of those appointments and just, okay, yes, we'll take that first available. And do you have a cancellation list by chance? And they said, yes, we do. I said, can I please be put on that? And they said, sure. So maybe we'll get lucky. But otherwise, I guess we'll see neurology at the end of August, and I'll just work on chasing down some of the other stuff in the meantime. The doctor wants to run lab work, and I'm going to see if Chalk can help us out with that, as opposed to just taking him to like a random lab workplace. Hoping that maybe pediatric team could handle doing lab work on kids a little bit more gently. And then we're also looking at doing a sleep study and maybe some physical therapy to strengthen some of and maybe pinpoint if there's any balance issues or weak areas with this hip issue. So yeah, lots kind of going on with Micah right now. And hoping that we can just sort of figure out some of these kind of ongoing things that have happened. So we'll see. No idea if there's going to be similarly long turnaround times, but physical therapy, I'm hoping not. I actually just got my physical therapy scheduled because my shoulder has been giving me a lot of grief lately. It is not better, like at all. Anytime I jostle it, I have a really kind of extreme amount of pain for like a good 30 to 60 seconds. Like this happened earlier. Like I just kind of hit my arm against in a weird way, like against the chairs. I was turning to get something for Micah, and my in-laws saw me have this moment of like, oh, like trying not to scream, level of pain. And yeah, like not great, like kind of concerning. So I don't know what's going on. Definitely seems like a different injury than what I had in the summer and fall, but I have physical therapy. They were able to get me in. They were scheduling 3 weeks out. So that's on the calendar for me. So yeah, I'm just a high maintenance problem child right now is what it feels like I am. But yeah, that's those are just a handful of reasons why the past couple weeks have been nutty, on top of just trying to continue to do videos and practice a little bit of self-care here and there and keep things rolling in the day-to-day with the kiddos and stuff. But I don't know, if you guys are feeling similarly overwhelmed and like you're just not able to do it all, I want to send you a lot of compassion that I want you to make sure that you give yourself to. Compassion and grace, and just know that it is hard out here, and it's not you. It's actually super, super hard. All the stuff that I feel like a lot of us are trying to keep up with. So just be kind to yourself, okay? And we are going to get through this. We're going to get through it together, just one day at a time. And it's going to be all right. So, trying to think what else. I've talked a lot about Micah this week, but Connor, I was so delighted to get to go to open house at the school this past week. and got to spend some time in Connor's classroom. He was so excited to show us a lot of the different things that they had been working on. And because they do a lot of prep and stuff to have fun stuff to show the parents for open house. And there was a presentation that he and one of his classmates had worked on, and the teacher put it up on the screen while we were there, and he was just so proud of getting to show us that. And yeah, I feel like he's making some friends at school too, which makes my heart so happy. And he just seems like he's doing well in a lot of ways. There's some things he's struggling with and some things we're working on with him. We actually are in the process of having him formally assessed for ADHD. And he does have an autism diagnosis, but there can be a lot of overlap, and it's not uncommon for there to be comorbidity between those two. And we just, some of the things he's been describing having a hard time with, Adam really relates to from when Adam was younger. And so we just kind of want to see. So teachers doing some forms that we'll take back to the doctor, and we'll do some stuff. We've done this song and dance with assessments before, and all of that, and we'll just see. It's fine if that's not what's going on. There's other supports that we can be looking at, like counseling and stuff. We just figure we'll see if we can get as much information as possible, because knowledge is power and all that good stuff, and just kind of go from there. But he's such a sweet kid, and he's such a good kid, and I love his sense of humor, and he's asking a lot of interesting questions, and he's very much capable of having more nuanced and complex discussions, and I'm enjoying that a lot about the age that he's at, for sure. So yeah, I have great kids, and I feel so blessed. That sounded so cheesy. Good grief. I sounded like I was being one of those moms or whatever. It's like #blessed on Instagram, but I mean that I mean it in earnest, I swear. I feel very lucky. I love my kids and think that they're really awesome. So even when they sometimes drive me nuts, I still love them with my whole freaking heart. So anyway, let's see. Oh, we are getting close to the end. Am I going to have the timing just right for this section? That would be great. Let's talk about what I've been reading, watching, and listening to. So I have not yet started the next Stormlight Archive book by Brandon Sanderson, because what I am doing is using it as motivation to get my taxes done and to get some of this other stuff done. Basically, I have told myself that once I finish my taxes, I get to start, is it Words of Radiance? It's the second Stormlight Archive book, the one after The Way of Kings. I will get to start that book. I get to start my big old cross-stitch project that is all gridded. I gridded it out and it's kitted up and ready to go. And it's got dragons in it, and it's amazing. And then what's the other thing I had said I would let myself do? I think finish Clair Obscure, Expedition 33. I won't give any spoilers. I'll just say that I am in Act 3 and the end of the game is nigh, which means that I am in this phase of like the whole world is open to explore. So I'm just going around getting my butt kicked by optional bosses and trying to grab like some of the collectibles I'm most interested in, like the other expedition journals and stuff, and trying to learn more about the world and the lore before I go into that final battle. I will say this game has been incredible. If you enjoy RPGs, JRPGs, even if you don't, if you just really enjoy a story-based game, I'm so glad that so many of you recommended this game to me, and I'm going to share that recommendation to others as well. I'll also put out the recommendation that I was so strongly given, and I'm so glad that I was, to go into this game as blind as you can, because there are twists, it's very mystery-esque. It reminds me of the game Horizon Zero Dawn in this way, where the reveals and how they come about and what that looks like can be so incredibly rewarding that if you don't have it all spoiled for you going into it, the moments of, oh my gosh, they're just so good. I can't understate them. It's been a lot of fun having Adam get into this game too. We've just had so many fun discussions about it. He's behind where I am, but I think he's pretty close to catching up. I think he's coming up on the end of Act 2 now. And it's been, we used to have a lot of stuff that we would nerd out over together, and it's been a bit since we've really had something like that. So this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, highly recommend. And then let's see, I've been watching this C-drama called The Untamed, which has I don't remember what the original source material is called. There's multiple iterations of it. I don't know how much I'm actually enjoying it and how much of it is just I'm waiting to see if it goes somewhere that I get into. It's a C-drama. It's my first C-drama that I've watched. I don't know if they're for me. But this is one that I've just heard so much about that I thought I would give a try. So it's on Netflix. And yeah, it's just a little something outside my usual kind of comfort zone. And then listening to, you know what? There's nothing really new to chat about with listening to. I did watch some clips from the iHeart Music Radio Awards with, my bestie Taylor and the awards that she won, which was fun, even though I know I'm going to have tomatoes thrown at me. Her most recent album was actually it's one of my least favorites of hers. I know I still consider myself a Taylor Swift fan. But yeah, Life of a Showgirl was not, it didn't click with me as much as some of her other albums, but I'm always going to celebrate when she wins and when she's happy. And so I can do that with the iHeart Music Radio Awards. iHeart Music Radio Awards, right? I have that right. Anyway, as far as what I have coming out this week, I will hopefully have my month in review for you guys and a Pure Bliss Wax Company sneak peek of their April box if it comes in. And I know they've been kind of slammed this past couple weeks. And maybe some unboxings, maybe an art dot. I think they're sending me something to share, so stay tuned for that maybe. But yeah, that's what I've got. So if you're not already subscribed and want to make sure you get to catch those, please do subscribe. I would love to have you here. This section totally finished. So yeah, I think I like this size section, but it does take me a little bit to get through, but it's really pretty. We're just this little starry section at the bottom left, and I'll kind of see how far I get on this. Yeah. So thanks for spending some time with me, you guys. If you made it all the way to the end, how about a star emoji? Because we've got these stars in the background. And let me know how you're doing and what you were working on today. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask for me to answer as part of, if I do this sort of AMA or tag set of questions related to my 6th diamond painting anniversary, which will be, Wednesday? Yeah, 6 years. So thank you for watching, guys, and for keeping me company today. I always enjoy these WIP and Chats and look forward to Monday mornings with you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week and that you are doing very well. Happy crafting. I will chat with you in the next one. Bye, guys.